So here we are on TikTok running the viral video. You know, it's funny because they have all these places like on JV Zoo and Warrior Plus, and they're always trying to sell you something for $200, $300, $400. And all you need is the prompt that I built. I built myself a prompt. The first time I built the prompt, I made it, and I made it so that I could ask it a question. I asked it a question. I said, "Hi, how are you?" It took over 14 hours for it to respond, and it still wasn't finished writing its second sentence. That means that the RAM videos, the random access memory, and the compiler, the coprocessor, we're sitting here trying to do all the math equations, but yet we're still going through all of the random access memory, and yet it was all maxed out just from asking it one simple question, because to process that and have it answer it, it's got to go through a whole array of information, and it's got to go back through, process it, come back over here and process it, go over there and process it. And it's got to build all these little points. And like when you walk in the library, you got 40,000 books in the library. And next thing you know is you're looking for one book, but somebody put it out of place and you can't find it. So now what's the problem? So as people go through the library, the librarian and everybody, and they say, "Oh, hey, look, here's a book that's out of place." So you ever notice they always want you to put that book they want you to put that book in a box when you walk out of the library so that they can put it back in the right place, and it's where they can find it. So let's do this. We could actually do this overlay and I'm using the prompt. I built a prompt. It's called the TraffiCola trademark Prompt Wizard AI Pro trademark. Now, this prompt you can use to do almost anything. I haven't found anything that I can't do with it. So what I decided to do was, hey, I'm going to make a TikTok viral video, right? And make my TraffiCola viral reels go boom. And that's what I'm going to do. And so that's what I'm doing. And so you're watching me right now, and I'm just yakking away. It should be working. So let's go ahead and continue building this thing. And I'm gonna make it so that you can buy this thing instead of for the $497. I have a bunch of friends all around the world, and they're selling these AIs that do anything and everything. And they're way over $400, way over $1,000. And they're worth it because they save you a ton of time. Anyway, I went way too long, and I'll put this on my website so you can watch it. And we'll be at Las Vegas corporate offices. And if you're a business and you need traffic to your offer, whatever you need, you can use the AI prompt to generate whatever it is that you need to get people there to your website. Heck, I use it. I made a lead generation database. Okay. They call them magnets because people download them, and then it's free, and then they get whatever they get, and then they get excited, and they go back, and there's an offer inside to buy. I just watched a guy for 3.5 hours tell me that he wasn't going to sell me anything. At the end, all it cost me was $1,497. Well, I don't have to buy his piece of junk because it doesn't work. He made $7 million at JV Zoo, but his piece of junk doesn't work any better than any other piece of junk. So why don't I just take everything that he said he could do and feed it to my AI, and that'll make a prompt out of it. So you make the prompt, and you run the prompt, and the prompt creates exactly what it is that you want. And then when you got what you want, you put it either on your website or wherever you need to put it, and utilize it. So now you're getting something actually done for not $1,497, but for a one-time offer of, I'm going to drop it from $497 to $197. Well, I didn't tell you that we were going to do something for free, did I? I just told you I'm just going to really take good care of you. Now, what happens if you go to the next level and you can't figure out how to get there? Well, I created the AI Pro, so I ask it questions. I get stuck right after I do something. I'm thinking, wait a minute. Am I doing this in JavaScript? Am I doing it in Next.js? Am I doing it in Vital? Am I doing it in Laravel? Am I just doing it in HTML5? What am I doing it in, So then I had to stop and think for a minute. Well, I asked it a question. I said, what makes it more fantastic for everything? I mean, I could go boom, 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 and give it a whole list how I want it to be rated and then tell me what to do with it. But I call it AI Joe. There was G.I. Joe, right? Now there's AI Joe. And my buddy, AI Joe, he figures it all out for me. And then when I get stuck, I just ask it a series of questions, and boom, it basically does the work for you. I mean, what used to take us a month or 6 months, I can get done in less than 6 hours. 6 months to 6 hours? How's that? Well, anyway, the other day I said, okay, hey, I wanted a leads claim. Okay, so when somebody visits a website, I just like, to register, let them put their email address in there, let them put their name, their phone number in there. Why the phone number? Because I'm creating with my AI an AI that turns around and calls them back. How's that? My AI is going to chat with them. Then it's going to ask them, would you like someone to call you? And then my AI agent that I created out of thin air calls them back and talks to them. And at first they can't tell whether it's a live person or an AI agent. Well, it's an AI agent. You and I know that. Eventually they know that. But then they ask it a question. And what's interesting is they get an answer. Now, what's also interesting, if for some reason there's not enough information in the database, it records the whole conversation to me and kicks it out to me. And then I look at it and I read it and go, oh, well, here's the reason why, the answer didn't come up. And so then I tell the AI why or what it was that the client was really asking and what we need to do to get an answer. And so now the next time somebody gets a little more technical, a little bit more difficult, and asks a tough question, the process has just been answered by the way I helped the AI. I assisted the AI in answering the question. Now the AI can go into the future and answer that type of a question anytime it wants. It's not going to get stuck. Besides that, Microsoft and everybody else is out there with their server yards, and they have hundreds of billions, trillions, quadrillions of information in their databases. So all you got to do is pull out whatever you want to pull out, and whether you're with OpenAI or secretively with another one. Heck, there's over 12 million of these things that have been built already for free. So, use the AI, pay the $20 a month, get started, get going, and then if you want, you can build your own server, private server, and I'll actually show you how. And we'll have a workshop that builds your own AI server in your own house, and you can use it all you want to. In fact, you can put 1, 2, 3. You can put as many servers to service that thing. I mean, the other day I was looking at an 8 terabyte, a 10 terabyte, and it's something like a 20 terabyte SSD hard drive by Crucial. So, just whatever you want to call it, daisy chain them onto your hard drive, and let the hard drive articulate out to the crucials and get all your information. And so, you could literally build yourself a 10 gigabyte random access memory, maybe. Anyway, just max it out, and then put a very large SSD hard drive in there, lightning fast. In fact, I do all the architecture too. I design all the components of it so that you can have the best of the best. And next thing you know is, if you're a company and you need, let's say, okay, so I designed the software so that there was a stack of users. And so you had this stack and that stack, but there were 20 people that were waiting in line, and let's say you could only put 20 people in the stack at once. Well, when somebody signs out, a new one signs in, so you're always got a little round robin going for people who are using, and let's say you use it for 2 hours, 3 hours, and then you stop using it, you sign out, and the next person signs in. So you could have a whole company of people utilizing the AI programs. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm designing. I'm working my tail off, but it's a lot of fun. And there's only one of me, so I'm starting to figure out that I need to build 2 or 3 of me and start this process. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm building an AI to talk to an AI to build an AI that does and answers every question that you need answered. And anyway, so that's all I'm going to say. I already said too much. Have a great day. Let's see. I don't even know if I got recorded. Should have. Let's see. Where are we at? Stop. Okay, yeah, I was recording.